or gain a better foothold in the market. Aderant was always the number 2 player, and they still are the number 2 player. But they've strengthened their market position based on Elite's decision to force their firms to market. Now, a lot of those firms said, you know what, we know that the devil we know. We like Elite. We don't like that they rake us over the coals for money, but it's worked for us, and we'd rather kind of stay in the Elite world because we either trust our reps or trust our technical people, or we're just kind of an Elite shop, and darn it, it's like Big Blue. Firms that stay on Notes and firms that stay on IBM, they just kind of do. But there's been lots of firms that have come to market, and a lot of firms have switched from Elite to Aderant because of that. What Aderant does, history on Aderant. Aderant was founded as a tiny little company in like Tallahassee, Florida, 35 years ago. Went through a succession of private equity after private equity after private equity. You know, all the big guys, Vista, Madison, Dearborn. You guys probably know those names. I'm sure you do. So they went through private equity, and they finally got bought by a publicly traded company called Roper about 3 years ago. So they're now a subsidiary, I think kind of like a Berkshire Hathaway without Warren Buffett. You know, like a less well-known Berkshire Hathaway that has very independently run subsidiary companies that all roll their top financial number up to Roper, and they're publicly traded and actually quite large and quite successful. So Aderant is just a independently run subsidiary of Roper now. What they have done over the years is they've said, if you keep paying your maintenance, we will continue to give you for free all new versions and all new upgrades of our core software. So they make their money on maintenance, they make their money on firms switching to them, and they make their money on making these new modules, whether it be a conflict checking module, a expense management module, a collections module, that kind of thing. But they haven't lost nearly the number of firms to Elite. They've lost like 3 ever, maybe 4 ever. From Aderant to Elite, whereas dozens and dozens have gone from Elite to Aderant. So it's closer to like a 60-40 mix instead of like the 70-30 that it was 10 years ago. That's a start. I can keep going, but you can kind of, again, point me in the right direction of what you're interested in.
Yeah, that's really helpful color. I think if we could keep going on that thread and maybe talk a bit more about Intapp and how they fit into the picture historically, in terms of taking share from the larger established guys.
My understanding is that Intapp was founded by a former Elite executive. I'm sure this is publicly available knowledge. I believe that's true. So Intapp was founded by a lot of people that go back, to the beginning with Intapp about 15 years ago, came out of the Elite world and said, you know what, we need to build products that have some things that Elite just doesn't do very well. And so they started off with that Wall Builder product. They started off with something called Integration Builder, which again kind of helps firms, manage integrations amongst products. And then they've grown through, and they had their own time entry product that was doing okay, but they really took off on time entry when they bought DTE. So Intapp, I think, really kind of found out what were some of the areas that were really lacking with law firms. Again, like a pretty cool technology to cordon off access down to the matter level of documents. So again, that's that wall builder. It builds a wall between so that people can literally see nothing on matters that they would be otherwise conflicted out of. Integration Builder. Those are the two big. Oh, and then they also have a product called Time Builder. Time Builder is pretty cool. If you make money on time and on managing your time, and doing manual time entries is a pain in the neck, which it always is. What if there was a product that would literally tap into your voice phones, tap into your Exchange or your Office 365, and give you a report at the end of the day of how much time you spent and who you were talking to and who you were emailing to, so that you could then create time entries. So there are other big products that they kind of built whole cloth as opposed to through acquisition. Is this thing called Time Builder to help people kind of recreate their day and be able to do time entries that much easier. Aderant, by the way, also has a product on that called Found Time, which is excellent. And so that's been something that they've actually sold as an add-on to their time module. They give their time module away